English Pronunciation, Lesson 13. Topic: Pronunciation of T, the true T and the flap T. Part 2.
Now let's talk about another way we pronounce T in American English. You've probably noticed that Americans do not say water, we say water. And you've probably noticed that Americans do not say little, we say little. What happened to the T in these words? We don't have the true T sound, T. Instead, we have what's called a flap T. We can use this symbol to represent the flap T. Now, before I explain how to make a flap T, let's make sure you can hear the difference between the flap T and that true T sound that we've just practiced. Here are two girls' names. The first name is Matilda. The second name is Natalie. Matilda, Natalie. In one of the names we have a true T sound. In the other name we have a flap T. Did you hear the difference? We have a true T in Matilda. Matilda, T, Matilda. We have the flap T in Natalie. Natalie. Matilda, Natalie. Now, why? Why do we have two different T sounds in these two names? Both have T in the middle, and both have vowel sounds surrounding that T. We have a vowel sound before and a vowel sound after. The difference is in stress. Watch this. This name is Matilda. Stress on the second syllable, Matilda. The T is stressed, so we have a true T sound, Matilda. In this name, we have three syllables, and it's the first syllable that's stressed, Natalie, Natalie. The T is part of an unstressed syllable, so we use the flap T.
Let me offer a couple of hints when it comes to understanding American speech. Vowel length can sometimes be a clue in understanding words that are similar in sound but different in meaning. Listen to these two pairs of words: leader, leader, writer, rider. The words on the left have a shorter vowel sound in the first syllable. The words on the right have a longer vowel sound before that voiced D. Again, leader, leader, writer, rider. Here's the second hint. In most cases, you'll have enough context or other words to help you tell the difference between similar words. Examples: 1. Sentence A. I won a medal. Sentence B. Metal chairs are comfortable. 2. Sentence A. Scary movies make me shudder. Sentence B. The window has a broken shutter. Note: it is more important for non-native speakers to understand than produce the flap T. If you have problems being understood, use a true T so that your words are pronounced more clearly for your listeners.
Now, how am I making that flap T sound in the name like Natalie? Well, the flap T is still a T, so we're dealing with a stop. But it's a very quick stop. To make this stop, you will still use the tip of your tongue against that hard bump behind your upper front teeth. But that contact is very quick. It's quick, and so it becomes lighter, softer. In fact, we can call it a tap. A tap, you know, is gentle contact. There's a difference between knocking and tapping. So think of it as your tongue tapping that hard bump. There's still contact, but it's quick and it's light. We'll call it a tap. Many people compare the flap T to the D sound. The D is a voiced consonant. So we can also describe the flap T as a voice tap. When you make the flap T, you will feel vibration here. Natalie, Natalie. You're going to feel vibration when you say the flap T. Now, because it sounds like that D, a voiced consonant, you will not have that same release of air, that same puff of air that we had with the true T. So let's note that. No puff of air. So note these three things that we need to do to make the flap T. Here's an exercise to help you practice making the flap T. We're going to do it quickly, we're going to use our voice, and we're going to make sure there's no release of that air in a puff. I want you to say one sound with me. This is not a word, it's just a sound. Say ta with the true T. Ta, ta, ta. Now let's change it to a D. You'll feel vibration here. Da, da, da. Okay? Now I want you to say this sound very quickly. Picture a long line of does, and we're going to say it faster and faster. Da, 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 da. The faster you get, you should feel the contact between your tongue and that hard bump behind your upper front teeth become lighter, softer. It's quick and light contact. We're going to do that again, and then immediately say the name Natalie. Da, 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 Natalie. When you make that long chain of does, I want you to be very aware of that contact between the tip of your tongue and that hard bump behind your upper front teeth. There should be a feeling of light, quick contact. Be very aware of it so that you can be aware of it in the name Natalie. Again, Americans will not say Natalie, they will say Natalie. The T having very quick, light contact. Try once again, saying da, 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 Natalie.
End of part 2. Please go on to the next part of this lesson.